In this video, I'm going to be talking about the different types of pet insurance. Now, pet insurance is an insurance product that is designed to cover veterinary fees should your pet need treatment due to an illness or injury. Pet insurance will only cover your pet for illness and injury and does not cover routine treatment such as worming, vaccinations, or even neutering and spaying in most cases. Pet insurance can also provide cover in the event that you need to cancel a holiday due to your pet falling ill at the last minute, and also you are able to claim on some policies if your pet is lost or stolen and is not found within a certain amount of days. In most cases, when you claim on a pet insurance policy, you will have to pay an excess, which is usually a fixed amount, which means that every time you make a claim, you have to pay this proportion of the veterinary costs. Some insurance providers also ask you to pay a percentage contribution towards the cost of your pet insurance claim, and this is also known as a co-payment, which is a percentage contribution which is usually around 20% of the cost of the claim, and sometimes this is also in addition to the fixed excess amount on your policy. So there are four main types of pet insurance, and I'm just going to quickly describe the different types in this video for you. Now, the most comprehensive type of pet insurance is a lifetime pet insurance policy, and this pet insurance policy will cover your pet for the duration of its life. So this particular policy is quite good if your pet develops a chronic or lifelong condition such as arthritis or diabetes, because your pet is going to need continual treatment over the duration of its life. Now, with this particular pet insurance policy, the annual limit for the veterinary fees, the cover that you have for the policy year, will renew each year. And there are two different types and two main types of lifetime pet insurance, and that is annual limit lifetime pet insurance and annual limit per condition lifetime pet insurance. So annual limit lifetime pet insurance will insure your pet for a set amount per policy year. So for example, your pet could be insured for up to £10,000 per policy year. This means that you can claim up until £10,000 for multiple conditions in that policy year. If you reach the £10,000 limit within that policy year, any further treatment will need to be self-funded by you. However, the following year, the annual limit will then reset. So when you renew the policy the following year, you have another £10,000 that your pet is covered for should you need to claim for the same condition or another condition. Now, annual limit per condition lifetime pet insurance insures your pet for a certain amount per condition per policy year. So for example, your pet could be insured for £5,000 per condition per year. So your pet could be insured for £5,000 for arthritis per policy year, and if you reach the £5,000 limit in the first policy year, this will then reset the following year. But if you reach the £5,000 limit within the first 6 months of the policy year, any further treatment for the remainder of the policy year will need to be self-funded. However, if you need to claim for £5,000 for arthritis for your pet and £5,000 for diabetes for your pet, you can do so because this particular lifetime pet insurance policy will cover your pet per condition per policy year. So because lifetime pet insurance renews annually, it is the most comprehensive pet insurance for your pet, and it does provide the best level of cover for your pet. However, this will come at a cost, and it is usually the most expensive pet insurance for your pet. So another type of pet insurance that you can have is a maximum benefit pet insurance. Now, this is similar to lifetime pet insurance. However, the pet insurance does not renew annually. So for example, your pet is insured for a set amount per condition for the duration of the policy. So your pet could be insured for £8,000 per condition, and you can claim as many times as you like for that particular condition, but once you reach the veterinary fee limit, the vet fee amount will not renew. So one of the downsides to maximum benefit pet insurance is that you could potentially reach the limit fairly early on in the policy, and therefore, because the limit does not renew annually, you may reach the limit and may have to self-fund for that particular treatment for the rest of the policy. Also, one thing to bear in mind is if you do claim for your pet for a particular condition with a pet insurance policy, if you decide to cancel the insurance with that particular pet insurance provider, that condition will now be classed as pre-existing, which means that if you change pet insurance providers, you will no longer be covered for that particular condition unless you open a pre-existing condition policy. So, maximum benefit pet insurance insures your pet for a set amount per condition for the duration of the policy, and because the limit doesn't renew annually, it is slightly cheaper generally than lifetime pet insurance because you still have a good level of cover, but it doesn't renew each year. So it is something to consider if you still want to offer your pet a good level of vet fee cover, but don't want to pay the costly premiums that may be associated with a lifetime pet insurance policy. Now, another pet insurance policy is a time-limited pet insurance. So this particular pet insurance will insure your pet per condition, but for a specific amount of time or until the condition limit is reached, whichever comes first. So your pet is usually insured for around 12 months from the initial treatment date when your pet first started receiving treatment for the condition. So if you opened a time-limited pet insurance policy and your pet was insured for £3,000 per condition, if you needed to claim for that particular condition, for example, your pet had something wrong with its leg, then as soon as you seek treatment from your vet, the time limit usually runs from that first veterinary consultation that you had and the first time that you sought treatment for the particular condition that your pet had. Time limited pet insurance is one of the cheaper pet insurance policies because it covers your pet for a certain amount per condition, so you do have a bit of security when it comes to paying expensive veterinary fees. However, you are only covered for a set period of time. So if your pet does have a lifelong or a chronic condition such as diabetes or arthritis and will need treatment for a longer period of time, then this particular pet insurance policy will not offer you the best level of cover because you are likely to meet that limit early on, or if you don't meet the limit, then the time limit will come first and your pet will only be insured for the first 12 months from the first date of treatment. If your pet is quite young and are relatively healthy and you don't think you're going to need to claim for anything, then a time limited pet insurance policy may be a better option because it is slightly cheaper than the other pet insurance premiums. Now, finally, another pet insurance policy you can choose is an accident only pet insurance policy. Now, this pet insurance policy does not insure your pet for any illnesses. Your pet is only insured for accidents such as a dog or cat getting run over, or having an accident in the garden or playing with a toy. It is not insured for any illnesses. Because of this, the pet insurance policy is a lot cheaper than any other pet insurance policy type because you aren't insuring your pet for the illnesses. However, you are quite restricted in the amount of cover that you have, because if your pet did fall ill, then you are not covered and you will have to cover that yourself. Also, something to consider with an accident-only pet insurance policy is you will be insured usually for a certain amount per condition or per accident, which is usually around £3,000 per condition, but some of the accident-only pet insurance policies do have a lifetime limit. So, for example, your pet may be insured for £3,000 per condition, but up to a maximum lifetime policy limit of £15,000, which if you claim 5 times with each of the pet insurance claims reaching £3,000, you are limited to only 5 claims in the duration of the accident-only pet insurance policy. And also, it is worth considering that if you did claim for something and then your pet developed any further conditions or illnesses due to the accident that you have claimed for, and then you decided to cancel the policy and move somewhere else, it would be deemed as a pre-existing condition and it is unlikely that you would get any cover. So that's just a quick summary of the different types of pet insurance policies available. On our website, moneytothemasses.com, I have written a host of pet insurance articles which goes into a bit more detail about the different types of pet insurance policies, and it also compares some of the best pet insurance providers for you to be able to see which providers out there offer you the best value for money. So be sure to go and check those out.